It's time for spooky season, and it's also time for our monthly TBR picks. You guys know the drill. I'm gonna pick some unique TBR prompts in here. So let's pick our October TBR. First prompt. I'm gonna try to go for somewhere in the middle. Pick a book and then draw part or all of it of that cover in your reading journal. I am not a very good drawer. I cannot draw. So I'm gonna have to pick something that is gonna be really simple to draw in my reading journal. So I have to draw part or all of that cover in my reading journal. Obviously, I'm not gonna pick stuff like this because this is really complicated and there's no way I can draw stuff like this on here. 7-year slip. It has people on it and stuff. I guess I could draw these leaves and not the people. Maybe these birds. Okay, I guess I could try that one. This is how you lose a time war? Oh, no, cannot draw that for sure. I'm basically just gonna try to avoid people because I can't draw people especially. House of the Cerulean Sea, there's not people, but there's still no way I can draw that. This seems simple enough. I could draw this. That would be simple, okay. 7-year slip and yellow face will be a contender. Red Queen. I can kind of draw this. This is simple enough, I think. Contender. True Love Experiment. Okay. It's just fireworks. I can draw that. Or the soulmate equation. I can draw DNA with a heart splattered on there. I think we have enough contenders for now. So what we have is gonna be the 7-year slip by Ashley Poston. Or I can draw yellow face with just the eyes. Or I can draw Red Queen, which has a crown and some blood on there. I can draw that. And I can especially draw the True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren with the fireworks. If I can just do that. And then the soulmate equation by Christina Lauren. This seems simple enough. So we've established that I can draw what I've picked so far. What do I want to read? Also, before I started filming, I did kind of not promise myself, but say something to myself along the lines of, let's try to pick something more fall-esque for this TBR because it is October. So in that sense, I feel like these two would be the top contenders. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna pick the 7-year slip because this is a book that I've been wanting to read for forever. Keep putting it off. It's finally time to read it. So I'm gonna pick the 7-year slip by Ashley Poston. I'm excited. I'll try to attempt these people on here, but I already gave you a warning that I cannot draw very well. Next. Did you post on Instagram/TikTok today? If yes, pick a hyped book. If not, pick a relatively unknown book. Okay, I have to be better with my Instagram and TikTok. By the way, follow me. So obviously I did not post today. So I cannot pick a hyped book. I have to pick a relatively unknown book. A relatively unknown book? Actually, I think Give Me Butterflies. I think this is a relatively unknown book. Give Me Butterflies by Jillian Meadows. I recently got this. It sounds really interesting. Also, it's kind of fall-esque because he's an astronomer and she's an entomologist who, you know, the study of bugs. And I don't know, bugs, Halloween, it gives me that October vibe. So why not with this one? Oh, Dating and Dragons. I mean, dragons always kind of equate with fall for me. So this is a little bit fall-esque and relatively not known. Dating and Dragons by Christy Boyce. I believe this is a YA book and she moves to a new town. She wants to acclimate and make friends with the people there and she does that by joining a Dungeons and Dragons team. So we can do that. I feel like this is pretty relatively unknown. Ooh, How to Kiss Your Enemy. Oh, okay, I'm gonna need to buy a new bookshelf. Once I find one that I like to fit this particular area well, then I'll do it. How to Kiss Your Enemy by Jenny Proctor. This is relatively unknown. It's not necessarily fall-esque, but it's unknown and something that I'm interested in reading. Relatively unknown. I mean, obviously it's pretty subjective, right? Because it's whether or not I've heard of it much. I actually got a lot of, I feel like, relatively unknown books recently. So we have Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kimmerer. I believe this is YA as well. Relatively unknown. Then we have Spiral by Bal Cabra. Ballerina, hockey player, fake dating. Sounds pretty nice. Love at First Book by, I don't know, it's covering the name, Jen McKinley. I think she falls for her boss's son. And then Is She Really Going Out With Him by Sophie Cousins. This one, I think her kids set her up on a date with a bunch of guys and then she picks one of those guys. So we have actually a lot of unknown books here. What do you guys think? I mean, yes, I'm trying to be fall-esque, but we don't have to stick to that. I think this author is coming out with a new book or has come out with a new book recently. So I'm kind of interested in this one. I think I'm also more interested in this one and this one. So let's pick from one of these three. Now I've narrowed it down to two. Okay, I kind of want to read this one actually. So I'm going to go with Spiral by Bal Cabra. She's a ballerina, he's a hockey player, and I think they end up fake dating because he's trying to improve his reputation and she's trying to be more well-known so that she can get a spot in like the ballet. This sounds really cute, so we'll go with this one. Next. Pick a book that would be a good name for a band. A good name for a band? Pick a book that would be a good name for a band? I mean, there are bands like 5 Seconds of Summer, so it could really be anything. But a good name for a band? The Hawthorne Legacy. I just finished the Inheritance game, so I could read the second book. The Hawthorne Legacy, it sounds like not like Jonas Brothers, but Jonas Brothers-esque. I could see this being a name for a band. It has a last name in it. I mean, come on, there's like bands called the Beatles. Like they literally named themselves after an insect. And Tears for Fears. By the way, I wasn't born in the 80s, but I really like 80s music. I'm an old soul, a grandma, if you will. Good name for a band. Good name for a band. This could be a name for a band. The Night Circus. I could see it being a name for a band. Indigo Ridge. I could also see this being a name for a band. Indigo Ridge. Why not? Or A Million Junes. Not bad. I don't know why, but I can also see Alone with You in the Ether as being a band name. Oh, and I can also see Pineapple Street as a band name too, for some reason. Okay, let's stop there. That's enough band names for now. So let's recap. We have Pineapple Street by Jenny Jackson. We have Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. We have A Million Junes by Emily Henry, Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry, Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I feel that they all qualify for a band name. Now I just have to pick which books I want to read for my October TBR. I wish you guys could live vote with me right now. I'm kind of wanting to read this one because I feel like I hear a lot of great things about this one. These three, I think, are the top contenders for me right now. This is so hard. I kind of am wanting to read this one. I really am debating between this one and this one, but for some reason, right now, in this moment, this one's calling to me, so I think I'm gonna go with Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I know this is a good book. I will read this eventually, for sure, but for right now, that's gonna be our band name, Alone with You in the Ether. That sounds like a very, like, Paramore-esque name, kind of like a little bit depressing. Like, you know, the music's not gonna be like a cheery type of music, but let's go with this one. What month is it? Pick a book that starts with the first letter of the month you're in. Okay, right now, technically it's still September, so I have to pick an S book. Because, you know, I make this in September so that I could put it out around October. Again, like I've done in previous videos, I'm gonna discount the A and the if I need to. Do I have any? Oh, Summer of Broken Rules. Okay, we could revisit this one. S. We have Spectacular, but can I read this before I even finish the trilogy? I'm just gonna keep it here for now. I don't think I can read this until like after I finish the trilogy, but if I don't have any other choices, then I'll look more into it. Oh, I could read The Song of Achilles. I haven't read this book yet and I got this special edition. Obviously you can see how pretty this book is. I've also heard it's a very sad book, so maybe it is something that I should read around this time of year. It's very fitting, although I don't want to be sad, but I do have to eventually read this book. Look at how pretty this is. Like, this is adorable. Okay, so I could read this one. Okay, an S book. Oh, The Soulmate Equation. S, Soulmate Equation. Okay. Oh, Six of Crows. Oh, and then also Shadow and Bone. Wait, I think I'm supposed to read Shadow and Bone first. Okay, so I could read Shadow and Bone. I think I'm supposed to read this one first. That concludes it. So let's see what we have. We have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. We have Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. We have The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. We have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. And we have The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. Right off the bat, I don't know if I can read this in the middle, so I'm gonna put this away. I mean, it's not really summer much anymore, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. I really want to read Shadow and Bone and start the series, but I feel like I should finish other series before I even start a new one. I'll get rid of this one. Help. I feel like I'm obligated to pick this one because I did buy a special edition and I didn't even read it yet. Like, why spend all this money to buy such pretty books if you're not going to read it? But also, this I want to read as well. Okay, so let's just see what we have so far. We have a magical realism, a romance, and a lit fic. We have a romance and a lit fic. What I'm wondering is do I need a palette cleanser amongst these books? If so, I'm going to pick the Soulmate Equation. If not, I'm going to pick the Song of Achilles. So far, I think it'll be okay. So I'm gonna go with the Song of Achilles. Yeah, finally gonna read this book. Okay, yes, that one. Next. Oh. A book that fits how you're feeling today. A book that fits how you're feeling today. I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm happy. Life's good. So I guess let's pick a happy, life's good book. You know, the first thing that I just saw was Happy Place. But ironically, I think I heard that Happy Place is not a very happy book. I heard it's kind of a sad book. But because based on the title and I'm not sure if it is a sad book, I'm gonna keep this in the running. Otherwise, let's pick like a very happy book because I don't know, life's good, you know? So this is a sweet romantic comedy, How to Kiss Your Enemy by Jenny Proctor. I mean, this seems like an upbeat, happy-go-lucky book. Love at first book. I'm very much into reading right now, and it seems like a romance, uplifting book, kind of. A happy-go-lucky book. So nothing in the fantasy section, because those are all very serious. I don't know, my mood's just like really excited. Maybe Fall I Want by Lyra Parrish. This seems like a nice, cute, sweet romance book. Very cozy, which is kind of the vibe right now. Okay, so we have Happy Place by Emily Henry, which I don't think really qualifies for this one since I did hear it's a kind of a sad book. We have Love at First Book by Jen McKinley. We have Fall I Want by Lyra Parrish. And we have How to Kiss Your Enemy by Jenny Proctor. I think I'm gonna pick How to Kiss Your Enemy by Jenny Proctor. It says sweet romantic comedy and it involves cooking, which I've been doing a lot of these days. So it just kind of feels like my mood right now. I'm gonna go with this one. Yay! Okay, we picked our October TBR. So let's recap what we picked together. We have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Finally getting to read this. I hope I love it. Then we have Spiral by Bal Cabra. I'm really excited to read this author. I haven't read anything from her before, but it looks really good. Then we have a very famous oldie but goodie, Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. Excited to read this one. I got this specifically in the UK because I just like this cover better. I also got this in the UK, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Come on, this book is beautiful. And then finally, we have How to Kiss Your Enemy by Jenny Proctor. This, I feel like, is also a relatively unknown book. I'm excited to read it and see if I like this author. But there we go. These are the 5 books for our October TBR. Thank you so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun. I always do with these prompts, and I hope you had a good time. So I will see you guys next time, and hopefully I read all of these books and let you know that in a monthly wrap-up video. Bye!